Hi there, this is Karen from Soul Shimmer Designs, and today's tutorial I'm showing you how I've made these wine glasses. They have the quote, "The best wine is the one we drink with friends," and on each side are a black skull and a red skull. So for the tech wrap materials that I need, or the tools I need, are my squeegee, my tweezers, and my trusty weeding pen, which is nice and sharp, and also the standard tack mat. The tech wrap vinyls that I'm using for this project are the red mirror chrome and also the matte black ink, so two awesome colours there. And I just have these two wine glasses that were provided to me by the customer, and now I'm ready to get going. So first of all, I'm just using my squeegee to burnish down the red mirror chrome and making sure I remove that protective cover that's on there. And now I've just popped that into my silhouette cameo, and it's cut the designs that I need. And I normally bend the sticky mat back rather than pulling off the vinyl, just to stop any creases or to stop any damage to the decal. Then you can see here that the red mirror chrome pulls off nicely away from the two words there. And I've also cut the two sugar skulls. And I'm weeding this with my weeding pen. There's probably an easier way to do this, maybe with reverse weeding, but I enjoy actually the weeding process, so I'm a little bit funny like that. So I'm using my weeding pen and my tweezers for some parts, but mostly my weeding pen. And you can see it takes off even those tiny pieces. This is a super sharp weeding pen, one of these new mermaid colours. So if you haven't got one of those, I would definitely recommend them because they are really amazing. And you also get a refill pen. Now the black matte ink, I'm also removing the protective sheeting from that and popping that onto my standard tack cutting mat, using my squeegee to burnish that down. And that's also going into my silhouette cameo to cut the rest of the wording and the two sugar skulls. So you can see there, as always, black matte ink is a vinyl that I use all the time, and it never lets me down, especially because a lot of these are in this decal. I have quite a few excess pieces to take out with the wine glass as well. And you can see the typeface or the font is actually quite small, and absolutely no problems at all using my weeding pen for those, getting out those excess pieces. And then I'm on to the sugar skull. I'm not going to show you all of that because it's the same process as before, but you can see with the weeding pen, again, there's no problems of taking it out. The whole excess vinyl there, and there are a lot of smaller pieces in there that with other weeding pens and with other vinyls I wouldn't think I would have as much success, but with the tech wrap vinyls I absolutely have success. And using my tweezers for some of this, and I actually have ended up showing you the whole process of the black skull. So now it's time to put my decals together. So the two words in the red mirror chrome are wine and drink, and then makes up the decal there, the whole decal. Burnishing that down with my squeegee, and I'm using there some pool noodles that I've made up that I use for my tumblers to hold the glass for me. And now just burnishing back the decal using my squeegee, which I find such a handy way of getting the decal off. And now I'm just going to pop that onto the glass, making sure that's nice and centered. And it goes on nice and easy. Sometimes it's better not to think about these things too much, but I'm happy with the placement there. just using my squidgy with the felt part to burnish that down, and pulling down from the top or at an angle there, and any pieces that I'm finding don't come off straight away, I can use my squidgy, and you can see that it burnishes it down perfectly. Just going slowly. Whatever's not burnished down, I'm using my fingers as well, or my thumbs there, and just make sure we get the dot on the eye, and there we go. That's all nice and centered, and now it's time to put on my skulls on the side. And also what I'm doing here is just using part of the backing tape from the transfer tape just to make sure that that's really stuck down, burnished down. Now it's time to add on one of the black skulls to the side of the glass, and it's the same process, just making sure this one came off easy. I didn't need to use my squidgy to burnish the back part of it, and just making sure I've got that nice and centered. So we're going to have one black skull on one side and then the red one on the other side. So using my squidgy to burnish that down, and it doesn't take a lot with these larger decals or single decals to pull that off from my transfer tape. And now we're on to the red skull on the other side. So this is a customer order, not something that I would normally do with skulls and on wine glasses, but this is the joys of making customized decals for people, is that their choices and what they would like are sometimes interesting, and I actually like the way that this has turned out with the two skulls on the side. So I'm just making sure now that everything's lining up properly. And you can see that's a nice easy process to pop that onto the glass, to stick that on. It's using my squidgy to burnish, and it comes off nice and easy. And that is the first glass done. So it's the same process for the second, obviously, and there we have the finished product. So the best wine is the one we drink with friends, and super happy with how this one turned out. So I hope you think it's a pretty cool design, and I know the customer was really happy with that one. So thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and if you've got any questions, please let me know. Thanks again. Bye bye.